Alrighty guys, so you know the drill for my videos. Of course, whatever you've seen at the beginning of this video, that's what we're going to be DIYing. You saw the crop top, you saw the midi skirt, so that's what we're going to be doing. Of course, I do have the crop top on and it fits really well. I love my cuffs that I have. They fit really, really good. And I mean, just everything about it. So, and then this DIY was really, really simple and easy and fun to make. You have the option to make the skirt longer, shorter, of course with the crop top as well. But anyway, so if you want to figure out how to get this matching combo, then just keep watching. And of course, one more thing, this is on spring trend for 2016. So that's another plus about this video. You can get the look for cheaper than going to a store. So let's get into it. Okay, so I already have my fabric cut out to the size that I want it. Now you can check out my previous videos of me cutting out fabric and measuring myself. I'll have that linked up in the description bar. Sorry, down below in the description bar. I've also added some black lining to this because it is a see-through top. Now you'll see that my collar to my shirt is a little bit different than the other piece. That's because one is the front and one is the back. So you want to start out first by lining your black lining with your back top, and then of course you're going to go ahead and pin those down together. If you want to see a video of me teaching you how to pin your fabric, I do have a video and I will link that up in the video and then also down in the description. Alright, so the next thing that you want to do is just go ahead and start to sew your pieces of fabric together. You are going to be sewing the armholes as well because I will show you why after you are done sewing. Of course, you're going to need to also back stitch, and then of course remember to hem your fabric. You don't want it falling apart. Okay, so now that you have sewn your pieces together, back with back, front with front, you are going to want to put your front with your back piece, of course, meaning you're now going to make your top fit together. Okay, so once I flip this over, we'll see that it kind of looks a little bit smaller than the back piece, but it is not. I mean, it is, but that's the way it's supposed to be. So you just want to make sure that you measure up your top and back. They should fit together seamlessly, and of course you're going to pin those down without pinning your armholes. Okay, so once you're done pinning, you are going to take it to the sewing machine and do a straight line stitch. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I know I say okay so a lot, but anyway, this is what it looks like once you have your top sewn together. Flip it inside out, right side in, doesn't matter, you're gonna throw it to the side anyway right now because we're gonna work on the arms, sleeves. Okay, so now we have our sleeves. Make sure that you do have the beautiful side facing toward you, and then you're going to basically fold it in half and pin it along the long side of the arm, basically where your raw edge is. Then we're going to repeat a step again, and once you are done pinning that, you are going to move to your sewing machine and just do a straight line stitch right where you pinned it at. And your results should look like this. Turn it right side out and you should have it looking a little bit like this. Now go ahead and grab your top, and then we're going to attach the two together. If you want to figure out how to attach your sleeve to your top, then of course I do have a video on that as well. I'll link it down in the description bar, and of course right here in the video. Once you've gotten all your pins pinned to your fabric, go ahead and hit the sewing machine. Once you are done attaching your sleeves to your top, you're going to want to turn your top right side out, and then we're going to move on to the neckline and of course the cuffs. Starting with our neckline, I'm going to be creating the trim to go around it. And I'm just going to be using the same fabric that I used for the skirt, that I'm going to be using for the skirt, and then also the lining of my top. You're going to basically cut out a long strip measuring about 20 inches, depending on how large your neckline is, and then you're going to fold it in half and begin pinning all the way down so it's easier to sew. Don't go to the sewing machine yet because we need to get our cuffs together. So take your elastic and measure around how tight you want your cuff to be. My cuff measured about 8 inches around. So I basically cut it out, and I'm gonna have 2 pieces like this. I don't need to pin my cuff down because it's so short. I'll just end up holding it together with my hands as I'm sewing.
This is a Ryan Little production.
When you get to your cuff, just remember to do a zigzag stitch and then a straight line stitch after you're done. Alright, so this is what it should look like once you're done with the cuffs, inside and out, and then also the neckline trim. The next thing you want to do is take your trim for your neckline, and basically you're going to be placing it on the outside of your top. And then how I like to pin it is starting with the seam first, going down the middle, the back of the middle, and then pinning it down, and then you're going to pin it all the way around. Once you're done pinning, you of course are going to sew, and then your sewing results should have something like this. Now of course I do need to iron, but I'll make sure to iron this before I put that on. Moving along to the cuffs, you want to cut off about an inch, inch and a half from the bottom of the cuff, and then stick your cuff on the outside of your sleeve, basically putting the cuff's raw edges to the end of your sleeve raw edge, and then you're going to pin it down so that way when you fold it down it'll come together. So once you're done sewing that, and I'm going to basically show you how to sew. It's a little bit different than I sew all of my other ones because it could not fit in my little armhole connection. So, okay, make sure that you're taking the pins out because they will get stuck underneath the foot, which makes it, of course, harder to sew. And this is what the results look like after you're done sewing your cuffs together. Now moving along to the bottom of your top, we're going to hem the bottom. I just took off some of the excess fabric that I won't be needing, and then I'm just simply folding it underneath and pinning, and then I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and sew a straight line stitch. Okay, we're done with the top. Yay! It came out really, really good. Of course, I'm going to sew the neckline piece, and yeah, let's go ahead and move along to the skirts. Starting with my skirt, I have 4 pieces, 2 pieces for the lining and 2 pieces for the outside of the skirt, which is the main skirt. I am going to just show you the 2 pieces here, and then we will pin them together starting with the lining. And I'm just basically going to be pinning both skirts down along the sides. Once you are done pinning, It should look like this. Now I did mess up and I had to redo the pinning of the flowered see-through fabric, because you're supposed to pin that with the outside, the inside facing outwards. So, and then once you do that, you're just going to basically do a straight line stitch all the way down. When you are finished, this is what both of the skirts will look like once you turn them right side out. Once you do turn the skirts right side out, you want to fit your lining inside of your outer skirt, and then flip it inside out, so that way you now have the black skirt facing outward toward you. And then you want to start by pinning down the seams, and then you're going to sew along that same seam that you have already stitched. And of course you will hem the skirt, both of the skirts at this point. Finally made it to the last part. Now you are going to attach your waistband. I basically measured my waist and then cut what I had left of my elastic, and then of course did the same zigzag stitch with a straight line stitch after to baste the ends together. So you are going to now take your waistband elastic and put it on the outside of your fabric just like you did your cuff. And then you are going to pin that with your raw edge of your skirt. You're going to pin that down. And then once you are done pinning that down, sew it along where you pinned it. And then you're going to just flip up that waistband and you should have it attached perfectly. And that's it. Alright, so that was my DIY how-to for today. You guys made your own spring trend for a very low cost, just putting a little work in behind it. But that's always the plus side, is that you are wearing something that you made, and sometimes just turns out better than what you can find at the store. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any other DIYs or anything that you want to see here on my channel relating to sewing, fashion, and things like that, then of course comment below. Of course you can find me on Instagram and Twitter, and of course Snapchat. I'll have all those links down below. My hands need to go down under my butt because I cannot keep them still right now. But anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Of course, if you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's going to notify you anytime I have uploaded a new video. So I will see you guys on my next video.